You can really see how the meaningful Indigenous engagement piece is really woven throughout both these projects. And yeah, it's really remarkable given especially the large profile, the national economic impact. I really, I've been to Kitimat a couple of times, and there's already a lot of big industrial infrastructure there. And even if you have that firsthand experience, you know what it looks like. You understand the sheer footprint and the large dollar figure that comes in building something like this. Translating that to understanding the relative impact to Canada is sometimes a little bit hard. And I'm really curious, maybe starting with Jason this time, how do you explain this to someone who maybe is outside the sector? How do you articulate the scope and the scale of that impact?
Yeah, so it's been said many times, LNG Canada is the largest private investment in the history of Canada. And we're really proud of what the team has delivered. And if we think of just, hard dollar, what does that mean for economic impact? Already to date, we have awarded, as LNG Canada, more than $3.9 billion in contracts and procurement to local BC businesses. And of that, more than $3 billion is to Indigenous-owned or local businesses in the Kitimat Terrace region. So that's real economic impact. Obviously, thousands of jobs during construction. We're in the middle of hiring a lot of our operating staff that will run this facility for decades to come. That's 250 to 350 really, really good jobs there. And the construction workers are learning the skills of building mega projects and building really high, complex projects. And, at this conference, we've heard a lot about this. The world is watching. The world wants to know, can Canada and can BC specifically deliver mega projects? And I'm proud to say we are still on track to deliver LNG Canada by the middle of the decade, as we promised when we FID'd this project back in 2018. So we will prove people that that Canada can deliver mega projects. And I hope on the back of that, that allows the next wave of projects, most of which are Indigenous-led, to follow behind us and prove that Canada can do even more than one of these big mega projects, but can continue to deliver on that promise.
I'm really, really thrilled as well by the opportunities that are in large centers as well. Obviously, so much of that is localized, but whether it's, like you said, Canada's brand or trade opportunities, really growing our contribution to the trade balance as a sector, really, really big opportunity there. On the linear infrastructure side, how do you explain it to people, Bevin, if they ask you, what exactly are you doing? How big is it?
Well, that conversation often starts with the construction activities. And, as Jason pointed out, in combination with the $3+ billion that LNG Canada's contracted with local communities and Indigenous communities, you add our activities and you get to a $5+ billion number. So that's a very significant contribution to the economy, particularly in northern BC. But what we're really excited about and what we're focused on in terms of our learning and working with our Indigenous communities as well is we plan to be in partnership for 40+ years here. And that 40+ years can provide enduring roles, opportunities, and build real businesses. So while we talk a lot about this as a global infrastructure project, which it is, it's the small community businesses that we're seeing being grown that will eventually just strengthen the communities across the province. And so, a great example is we had, a young woman, her name was Ashley, and she was kind of a construction monitor for us and a community liaison monitor with the Nakasley Wooten group, and she went to school, learned the skills that we had on the job, and now she has her own environmental consulting business. And then she'll probably start hiring people and it just will grow. And so that's really exciting. And I know there's probably hundreds of businesses like that are supporting LNG Canada at the same time. And so I think when we look back, even though we're contributing to a world-class project, we're really building community, and I've seen that, in my career, having worked in the Western Canadian Sedimentary Basin, I've seen large, thriving communities being built on the back of the energy industry. And I've worked globally, and I've seen the same happen there. So that's what's exciting for us.
I think that's really the key here. It's not just numbers on a spreadsheet or a great number in a press release. It's real human impact.